Hey guys, welcome back for another episode. Sorry, it's kind of been a while since I've last updated on my last video. had like some, I had some new work I'm doing, so kind of had a busy time. But anyway, let's go on to today's video movie review. It's gonna be Indiana Jones and the Raiders Lost Ark. So this was like the first movie of the Indiana Jones that I saw, and I didn't know this movie came out like back in the early, I think in the 80s or 90s. It was kind of somewhere around that time. Regardless, I saw this movie and I loved it. I really liked it that you had Harrison Ford, you know, he had this, I guess, he's going into this first type of like dungeon, and like you see people who literally fell victim to like the traps that like the people who are trying to keep people out of their sacred area that had these treasures and right there. And the fact that he gets through all these traps and everything, and he finally gets up to this treasure, and then he goes to swap the golden miniature statue for a bag to try to trick the system, and the system's like, oh nope, we're going to screw you over by trying to basically start having things collapse, so to prevent you from escaping, because we now knows we have a thief. And the fact that he was just trying to get himself out of there. And I mean, throughout the whole adventure, he basically, you see him as a part-time professor. And then another time, I mean, he was a teacher part-time, but his main job was him literally going out to ruins and finding either hidden clues that he needed to connect him to the next big thing he was trying to gun for. And also he had a love interest that that kind of developed throughout the movie. So it was kind of cool. And not only that, since this movie, it kind of takes place in almost in the middle of the late 1930s. So it's it was in that time where the main bad guys were literally the Nazis. And, it was just during that time where America is just, it's kind of it's kind of taking it back during those days in the 30s where there's vehicles and stuff, but not everything is super advanced. So a lot of things are kind of a huge throwback. And there was a lot of time traveling. This guy, he is traveling over quite a bit of a few areas. And I think that one of the things I really love about this character is the fact that when he goes to fight someone and stuff, he's either punching you in the face, or if he doesn't punch you in the face, if he has to disarm you, he literally takes out that whip and he's get that junk out of here. So I feel like this movie, it's definitely a classic for what's going for. I mean, this movie definitely feels like it was almost the in a lot of movies you see a lot of superhero movies going on. Well, this movie was it's in its own way, it's its own type of version superhero. Only difference is you see this guy, he's dealing with forces. The enemy is dealing with forces that they can't understand. And, he's learning about different things that he's literally either gathering these items. And the museums love this man because the guy's he's on point for bringing constant stuff. But there's been times where he's had a rival in the movie, and the rivals kind of screws him over with I'll take your relic, thank you. And I'm you jerk. Literally, they, literally, it was and I think one thing that you'll notice right from the get-go, this guy, Indiana Jones has a huge pet peeve with snakes. in one of the other movie reviews I'll be doing later on, they threw a throwback on like showing like how he became that way. But yeah, like he literally was like telling his pilot like, I hate snakes. And it was just like it was one of those movies where like you got the hero is literally he's literally petrified of an animal that's like, it just slithers, and you know they're sneaky and all the time, and it just gives him goosebumps. So every time when he like sees a snake, he I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the way when I see him, like he goes and does that that kind of shopping stuff, it kind of reminds me of my own father, like with his own, when he's petrified by by a certain particular animal, and it's just the guys are Harrison Ford's reactions to the snakes, it's just priceless. But regardless of the point, like I feel like this movie is definitely an A. It's easily A, because I mean, like you're gonna get your action, you're gonna get your a little bit of romance, but then at the same time you get that sense of wonder of it's like, why are these bad people going to great lengths trying to get something, and and this man is like literally, he's always on like a mission to find the next big thing that he could literally show to, show to the museums of what he found and what they could put into the museum, because that was the whole point, was like he was gonna go, one of the big things was he was trying to go and find this other person that he knows, from a while back from working with this person, and it led to something bigger than what he actually realized, even though now that he was actually helping her, it definitely was, it definitely became a very interesting adventure that he literally goes on in that very, and this was just the first one, and I was like, wow, I can't wait to see the next ones, because I'm like, man, I wish I would have saw this movie when I was a kid. I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta see this again. But yeah, put down in the comments of what you guys liked about it, and also tell me if you have any favorite scenes or any movies that you guys will recommend. But I will see you guys on the next one. Till next time. Pow!